Okay, this is my live stream to my father. I have to get a few things set up first before I get started, but I'm going to sit here and what I'm going to do in this stream is I'm going to start out with my earliest memories. I'm going to start out with my father's childhood. Got two keyboards here for two different systems. But anyway, I'm going to start out, it's basically going to be a history of my family, and all the good memories. Because there were a lot. As soon as I figure out where to go. Oh, gee. All right, give me a few minutes. Now, I am drinking tonight. I'm celebrating my dad's life. There we go. All right. All right, here we go, and I'm ready to start this off. All right. My fondest memory of my dad, before I began, is 2 nickels and a pair of shoes. That being said, from everything he's told me about his childhood, my grandfather hit the ball. And I've seen my grandfather kick one of my uncles in the butt, so I could just imagine what he had to deal with while he was a child. But to be honest with you, I love my grandpa, I guess. I'm just one of those people that love people regardless. But anyway, his mother died in a car accident, and his baby brother, I believe in 1944 or 45, I'm not really sure, I'll have to go check the dates, because the baby was sick, and Grandpa was taking him to the hospital. And my grandmother and the baby died in that accident. In my opinion, I think my grandfather carried that pain with him all of his life. And I think that even though my dad had a few issues with his dad, because my great-grandfather was alive all the way up until I was, now I have to check the dates, but up until the late 50s, 56, 57, something like that, is when he died. And my dad and my grandfather, my dad and my great-grandfather, my dad told me that my great-grandfather was one of his favorite people. They used to do a lot of things together, and he was a big influence in my dad's life. Anyway, my dad moved out at 13 from my grandfather's house with one of my great aunts, and got her out on a bread truck. And started to make his own way. Oh, type in a bunch of gibberish for him. Anyway, he went through high school, and after he graduated high school, while he was in high school though, I might mention that he played on a football team. And after he got out of high school, he joined the Air Force. While he was in the Air Force, he met my mom. If I remember correctly, according to Mom, they met in Antlers, Oklahoma. And I'm not sure where he was stationed there, because I was born in Ohio, and no, wait a minute. I take that back. I remember somebody, I don't remember who, but according to my mom, a friend of his told him about Mom, and they met, and it was over. After that, they fell in love, and eventually got married. One bit of that story that Mom used to tell is that my dad went to my grandfather Poston, who's my mother's father, and told him, I'm gonna marry your daughter. And my grandfather told him, the hell you will. My grandmother hit him in the back of the head with a frying pan. Cast iron skillet, by the way. And that's always been a story tale between my namesake family and my mom's side of the family. Anyway, like I said, I'm not sure. I'm going to assume my dad was always stationed in Ohio during this time period, but I don't really know. But we're going to flash forward to when I was born in 1962. And my earliest memory of us living in Columbus, Ohio, where I was born, was us living in an apartment, and every time my dad came home, he was an MP. He guarded planes. But I remember, and this would probably have to be like, let's see, I was born in 62 in August. It'd probably be like about, probably just a few months before my sister was born. On Rickersbacher Air Base at that time, that's what it was called. But the memories, the farthest memory I can remember back, I was probably, might have been just barely 2 years old, but there was this guy that lived next door to us that used to play the drums. And it used to scare me to death. But I also remember when my dad would come home from his shift in the Air Force, I'd run out to greet him. Because for me at a very early age, he was my hero. I'd run out there to greet him at the end of the sidewalk when he came in after he parked. I'd be like, "Daddy!" You know, just. And then he'd come inside, you know, and he'd want to take his shoes off, so he'd give me a nickel. He would give me a nickel for each shoe that I took off. And I had a bank that we put it in that we called Baba Louie. And a few months after that, my sister was born. She was merrily born because I was happy to have a little sister. And of course, by the time she was born, my dad's enlistment was almost up. And I remember when we moved, after his enlistment was up, and we moved from Columbus, Ohio to Houston, Texas, we stopped at some place in Kentucky and took a bunch of pictures. I mean, I was too little to remember, but I do remember being there. Because I remember seeing the lights in Columbus, Ohio, just looking up at the lights while we were leaving after we packed everything in a U-Haul and left. But, and then we went to Houston, and when we got to Houston, my dad had a vending route. And man, let me tell you, I used to go out with him all the time. He would fill all kinds of, you know, peanuts, anything I wanted, Cokes, whatever. Man, I was like, I was living a kid's dream. I was like about probably 4 years old then. Yeah, I'm not fishing, am I? Anyway, when we were in Houston, my brother was born. That was around 1965. When the Adam West Batman was on TV. I remember watching that way back then. And he was born in, for some reason, Dad had quit that job, and he moved back to his hometown, which is in Palestine, Texas, and we lived there for a few years while he started selling insurance. He started preaching then, and well, there's a lot of stories about that. I remember one time me and my brother and my sister, we all hove into the car, and I didn't close my door, and we were headed to church. And my dad turned the corner, and I fell out the door because I didn't have it closed. And whenever he turned the corner, the door swung open. And my little brother tried to catch me. It was too late. I'd already hit the ground. I mean, I was okay. I was like about maybe 6 then. Then we moved to Nacogdoches after I started. I was in first grade. About halfway through first grade, we moved to Nacogdoches where my other baby sister was born. And I remember changing her diapers, washing the dishes, cleaning the kitchen. Yeah, because back then, you know, that's the way it was. You know, little kids had chores to do. Well, after my sister was born, my baby sister was born, I finished second grade at Nacogdoches, and then we moved into a town outside of Lufkin, Texas called Hudson. And that's where I started getting into baseball a lot more than I already had. Played Little League there. Dad and Mom used to come to all of my games. And we pretty much stayed, you know, in Hudson until I graduated. I believe Mom and Dad moved out of the house I grew up in around 1993. Yeah. And they lived there until Mom passed in 2010. And that kind of took me for a loop, and it took me a while to get over it, but, you know, because she's my mom. But I eventually did, and Dad found someone later. I had so many memories of us fishing with my grandpa, and my grandpa getting drunk and eating bologna and getting sick because he drank too much. A time when we were out on the Neches River, and me and my little brother and one of my dad's friends, my dad and his friend was out in the boat checking trot lines. Me and my little brother was at camp, and my dad's friend was shooting a 22, and the game wardens come in with their guns drawn. I think I might have been maybe 12 or 13 at the time, and my little brother was like 11, and we were like, what the, you know. Anyway, he passed last Friday, February 7th. He lived 82 years. And while our relationship wasn't the best in the world, we still respected each other and we understood differences. But he taught me how to be a man. And most importantly, he taught me how to be a true father. That's it. Later, all.